Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please be sure to subscribe. We have so many fun things coming up and I don't want you to miss out. In this video, we are back with some more faux leather crafts and we are going to be making some cute little faux leather keychains with some glitter iron-on. These turn out so sweet. I love them. So I made one of them and then I made another as well. This one turned out really cute as well, and I'll show you where to find these files, as well as I will show you how you can use Cricut Offset to be able to create a keychain using just about any image that you see. So it's really fun with Offset. Offset has made this so much easier, and then I couldn't help myself. I had to make myself one after I saw how cute the girls' turned out, and you know it's not a Bethany tutorial if I don't make a monogrammed something for myself. So I made a really fun little gingham one, and so cute. I love how it turned out. So again, we are just using little pieces of faux leather, some glitter iron-on, and then we have these little keychain hardwares that I will show you where I got. They're so easy and I've used them in quite a few tutorials on my channel so far. So this is a perfect craft for back to school, so you can just get a really fun little keychain made for your little one for back to school time to dress up their backpack. All right, be sure before we start to give this a thumbs up. And now let's head into Design Space and I'm going to walk you through this entire craft from start to finish. All right, let's get started. Okay, so for my little keychains, I found these cute little graphics in Cricut Design Space, and I found them by just searching in images over here. They are called Sleeping Fox with Bow Outline and then Bunny Face with a Bow. And let me right click on the layers panel and say Image Info, and I'll show you the image sets. So the image set is adorable. Look at all these cute little animals. So I'm going to be making these for my girls. Of course, you can definitely personalize this to be any kind of graphic that you would like, but I thought this would be so cute. Oh, look at this little puppy one too. That is so sweet. I might have to snag that and put that in there as well and decide if I want to use that. So cute. Oh, I have to use the bunny and the fox though. Okay, so I will just remember that for later. But I wanted to show you that image set because it was so cute. So the name of that was, let me tell you real quick in case you really want to locate that again. So if I just hover over this, okay, and then click the little eye icon, View Image Sets. It is called Darling Animals. So that is the image set that this is all located in. So super cute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go back into my canvas. So these are the two that I am going to use. So what I want to do is I want to first create an offset on them because I want to have a background that I'm actually going to use as the physical keychain. So the actual graphic is going to be cut out of iron-on, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use the offset to create the cutout that will actually be the faux leather. So hang tight, you will see everything take shape and it will all make sense in a moment, but for now just watch the process and be sure to rewind or pause if you need to. Okay, so I'm going to grab the bunny first. I'm going to come up to offset, and then you'll see a little offset preview with this little blue line. Then I can decide if I want to make that bigger or smaller. I like how it is, so I can go ahead and say apply. But as you notice, there are some gaps in my little offset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to first select my offset layer right over here in the layers panel. I'll come down to contour, which is the bottom of the layers panel. And then what I'll do is say hide all contours. And when I do that, it just leaves that outline at the top. When I click out of that, then I have a solid background with no little cutouts in there. And that looks great. So I'm going to cut that out of a pink. And then I am going to have my bunny out of an iron-on, and that is going to be out of a white iron-on. So just color coding those so they're going to be ready to go for later. Okay, I'm going to really quickly do this as well. So what I'm going to do again is come up to offset, and then I love the little preview. I love how that looks. If you don't, you can go to the right to make it thicker, or you can go to the left to make it thinner. Let me hit cancel because I'm going to do that again and just use the little default. I really like that. So I'll say apply. And then again, you'll notice that there are some gaps. So I will select my offset, come to contour, hide all contours, and then I'm left with my outline just like that. So this one is going to be out of a lighter pink faux leather. So I'm going to select pink, come to advanced, and just drag that down a little bit so I know that that will be the lighter pink. And I'm actually going to use a glitter iron-on for the top. And so I will just go ahead and make that white as well. Okay, so we are good to go for these two. Now what I need to do is I actually need to create the keychain. So to create the keychain, first thing I want to do is I want to do my sizing and decide how big I want my keychain. Now, from here on out, if you are going to do any resizing, you need to make sure that you select both the offset and the actual image so that they are sized together. Because if you don't, then they will not fit once you go to apply them after they've been cut. So size everything together. So for my keychain, I want the width to be 2.5 inches. So I'm just going to size that down to about 2.5 roughly. That looks good to me. So I am good to go on that, and I'll do the same here. Again, selecting both, sizing them together, bring that down to 2.5 or roughly 2.5, and that is just about good. Okay, so I am good to go on here. Let me make my canvas bigger at this point so that we can see the next step. Okay, so now we are actually going to create the keychain. So what I'm going to do is I am going to drag off the iron-on pieces just to the sides here. Again, I'm not going to do any resizing at this point. I have everything sized, so I'm good to go. So I'm just going to drag those off, and I'm going to create the double-sided keychain here. So I'm going to select my little bunny offset, and then I am going to come over here and say duplicate. Then I'm just going to drag that up just like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to flip, and I'm going to say flip vertical. And that gives me my mirror image of the keychain. So then I can connect them in the next step. So now what I need to do is I need to create a little connector piece here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to select both of these pieces, and I'm going to say align, and I'm going to say align center horizontally just to make sure they are perfectly lined up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to group those together. That way I know that those are already done and they won't be moved from one another. You want to make sure they're aligned so that when you go to fold them and glue them together, all the little pieces line up perfectly. Then I'm going to come over to my shapes, select a square. I'm going to unlock my square, and I'm going to make that a width of about 1/2 inch, just like that. And then I am going, it doesn't really matter on the height at this point, but I'm just going to place that right in the middle of my keychain, select everything, come up to align, and say center horizontally. And that makes sure that that little connector piece is centered in the middle of my keychain. Again, if you need to pause, rewind, be sure to do that so that you can understand exactly how to make these. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, and this is the most important part, is with all 3 of those pieces selected, so I have my top and my bottom, and then I have my connector piece, I'm going to come down and say weld. And there we go. I have my keychain. So then I have my little piece. I'm going to have to send it to the front, and then I will have my little iron-on piece to place on there. So all set to go for that first one. I'm going to go ahead and do the second one, and I'll do it right in front of you once more just so you can get a little repetition. That way it'll make it really easy for you to make yours. So now what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to duplicate it, bring it up, come up to flip, say flip vertical, just like that. Now it's my mirror image. We're good to go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both pieces, come up to align, say center horizontally, group those together. That way I don't accidentally move them from one another. They're good to go. And then I will go ahead and come up to shapes right over here, select a square, unlock that square, bring that over, and I will give that a width of 1/2 inch. And then I will place that right on or over two of my pieces. Then I'll select all 3 pieces, come up to align, say center horizontally, and then with all 3 pieces selected, I will weld them together. Okay, and then I have my actual keychain there. Super, super cute. Okay, so again, then I will send this to the front again, just so we can get a little preview, and we are good to go. Okay, so since each of my girls get their own keychain, I thought I would make one for myself just to make it fun. So I will go ahead and just make a little monogrammed keychain for myself. So first I'm going to go over to text and I'm going to create my monogram. I'm going to come up to font and I'm going to search for the font Monogramos. Okay, and then it is called Monogramos. It's this one right here. So I'll go ahead and select that and I will type in my monogram. So my monogram is BDR and I use lowercase. If you use uppercase, I'll show you, it will do the inverse. So just select whichever style you want to go for. I want this look, so I'm going to use lowercase. I believe this is from dafont.com, but just Google Monogramos and you'll be able to find it. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is really quickly create my monogram. I'll come up and ungroup, and then I will create my monogram on each piece. So for this first one, I'm going to come over to shapes and I'm going to select a square. And what I want to do is I'm going to slice apart the parts that I don't need. So in this first one, I want to keep the B on the left. On the second one, I want to keep the D in the center. And on the third one, I want to keep the R on the right. So I just need to separate these. So I'm going to go ahead and cover what I do not need, select everything, and come down and slice them apart. Then I can go ahead and take the other slice result and the square, and then I can delete that. So we're all good to go. I'll go ahead and do the same here. So I'll grab a square, and then I'll go ahead and duplicate that a couple more times because we are going to need it a couple more times. Now you can only slice 2 layers at a time, so that's why I am doing them separately. So I'm going to go ahead, again, I'm just covering the little area that I want to take off, select both of them, and then slice. Then I can just go ahead and delete that side, and then delete these. Okay, again, covering what I do not want to keep, select both, slice, done. Okay, so now I have my first and second initial here, and then I'll do the last one. Cover what I do not want to keep, select both, slice, done. I have a whole tutorial on creating monograms, so if that was too fast for you, I'll place a tutorial link in the top right corner of the video so that you can learn that at a slower pace. Okay, so now I have my monogram here. What I can do is come up, I'm going to select all 3 pieces. I'm going to come up to align, and I'm going to say distribute horizontally. That way I know all of my pieces are exactly evenly spaced in between. So there's an even space here, even space here. And then I'm going to go ahead and say align, and I'm going to say align center vertically there. Okay, perfect. So they're all good to go. The next step is welding those together. So now this is all one file again. Okay, so then I'm going to, you can either create an offset with this, or you can simply come and grab a circle to create your base. So I'll just select a circle, that's just as easy. And then I am going to, again, make my keychain about 2.5 inches. Okay, so we're good to go there. Then I can make this, I'm going to cut this out of pink gingham. So what I'll do is I will just make this a purple, and then I know to load the pink gingham just because I have 2 other pink pieces here. Then I'll say send to front. That way I can get this all sized how I'd like it. Just like this. Okay, and then I will go ahead and just make this white because I will cut this out of that white glitter just like the other 2, and then I can recreate my keychain. So again, just dragging this off, and then it's kind of hard to see it right now, but it is there. It's just hiding from us. So then I'm going to make my keychain here. So what I'll do, again, come over, duplicate, bring my piece up. Because it's a perfect circle, I do not need to do any flipping. It's already a mirror image of itself. And then I'll bring those apart just a little here. Okay. Then I will select both, come up to align, say center horizontally, and then group those together. Select my shapes, grab a square, again unlock that to make it any width I'd like, but I'm going to do a width of 1/2 inch. Bring that over, select everything. Again, you're just seeing me do the exact same method I did on the other 2. Align, center horizontally. Ooh, I must have gotten that just perfect. And then I can weld. Okay, so we are all set to go. So we'll send this to the front again, and we are all set. So I'm going to do this entire project on my Cricut Explore Air 2, so I have that already selected here. I'll go ahead and say make it, and then it's going to place everything on their mats accordingly. Because this mat will be out of iron-on, I want to be sure to mirror this mat. So this is the only mat that I'm going to mirror. So I'm going to come over here, toggle that mirror button on. Again, I'm doing that because I am using iron-on. You always mirror when using iron-on. Then I have my 3 separate mats for my 3 separate colors of faux leather that I'm using, and then I can say continue. Okay, for my first mat, I will browse all materials, and I will come all the way down to iron-on, and I will use the glitter iron-on setting. Okay, and then that is going to use just the regular fine point blade. For my next 3 mats, what I'll do is change the setting because I'm going to be using faux leather. So I'm going to select that mat and show you what I will change. So I will then browse all materials for my faux leather mat. I will come all the way down. I believe it's in leather, but I like to use the setting genuine leather. Feel free to use whatever setting you find best for the faux leather. I've always had really good success with the genuine leather setting, so that is what I'm going to use. When I select that and say done, it's going to tell me to load my deep point blade into clamp B. So after I do my iron-on, then I will change my setting to genuine leather, use my deep point blade, and then cut out my leather. So let's go ahead and switch back to this mat really quick. Again, we will do the glitter iron-on and get everything cut out. So I'll go ahead and make that cut setting selection really quick. Glitter iron-on, done, and then you'll see that's the fine point blade. It does remind me on that iron-on mat to make sure the mirror is turned on, and you can see it is over here. And then we'll go ahead and get that loaded and cut out. So for my glitter iron-on, I am going to make sure that I place that shiny side or glitter side down on the mat. So it's a little hard to see because it's white, but there's an obvious shiny side with glitter on it, and I'm going to place the side down on our mat. And I like to use my green mat for this just because it's a thicker material, so it gets a better grip with that green mat. So I'll go ahead and place that right on my mat here. Again, I'm using my fine point blade, that's just fine. And then I can load my mat and then press cut. Okay, so that is all done. I can unload, and then I can peel my material away from the mat here, just like this. And then I'm going to just trim off my pieces really quick so that I can save the rest of my glitter iron-on. So I'll just trim away my designs, and then I will get ready to weed those in just a moment. Okay, so now I'm going to do my faux leather cutting. So for my first piece, I'm going to use this really pretty bubblegum pink. And then what I like to do is I like to flip it upside down on the mat, and I like to cut it out that way. I do that because I find that it gets a better grip on that mat. So the other side of the faux leather has a really soft texture and it doesn't really grip as well. So I just place the faux leather side down and it gets a much better grip. So once I have that placed on the mat, I can go ahead and load that into my machine. And then I need to change out my blade. So I'm going to open up clamp B and remove my fine point blade. And then I'm going to grab my deep point blade, which is just that black blade here. And then I will just drop that into clamp B and close. Then I can go ahead and just press go. Okay, and so that's already done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to press anything yet. I'm just going to make sure that I actually have a cut so I can see that it has cut through. Now you want to make sure you check before you unload, because if not, you can press go again and it will recut it so that you can get it cut all the way through. But once you unload your mat, you won't be able to load your mat in the exact same spot, so you won't be able to recut that. So just go ahead and double check really quick before you unload. So I've checked, it's good. I can go ahead and unload my mat, and then I can just peel away my faux leather. So I'll just peel it away just like this, all that extra, as well as my actual faux leather piece right here. It looks like it missed just a couple little spots, but the cut line is perfectly there. So I'm just going through with my scissors to trim and detach it from the rest of the piece. And then I have my little piece here. So now I can go ahead and do my second one with all the same settings. So this is just a paler pink. Again, I'm placing that faux leather side down on the mat to get a really good grip, just like that. Then I can go ahead and load it into my machine and cut. Okay, and that did perfect, as you can see. So that's perfect. And I can go ahead and take my little piece off, and I didn't need to do any trimming. So it's probably just a little fluke on my other one. Such a clean cut too. Look how clean that cut is. So awesome. Okay, then I'll just go ahead and repeat the exact same thing for my final piece of faux leather. I'm using this pretty gingham. I'll try and link all of the material I'm using in the description box below. These two came in a pack together, and then this I purchased separately. Okay, there we go. Same method with that patterned side or faux leather side down, load, and cut. Now, always do a test cut on your actual machine with your faux leather. I have done a lot of faux leather on my machine, so I know what settings work good for me, but in case you aren't sure, always do a test cut. That way you don't waste your expensive material and it doesn't work out. Okay, and I'm checking, it looks really good. So I can unload, pull that up and off, and I have my other piece. Okay, so let's go ahead, zoom in. We will weed out our glitter iron-on, get the little mini easy press out, and I'll get the little keychain accessories. Okay, so I have my iron-on here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get that weeded out. Actually, first I'm going to grab my mini, and this is the mini easy press. I love it for small projects. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on, and then I'm just gonna press that once so that it stays at that low setting. The low setting will just have that one wavy mark, and it's orange right now as it's preheating, but that will turn green and beep when it is ready to go and it's come to temperature. So I'll set that to the side while I'm weeding, and then just begin weeding out all my little designs that I will place on top of my keychains. Glitter iron-on is so easy to weed. So it's just simple. It's nice and durable, so you can go pretty quickly. Iron-on in general is so easy to weed out, but I love the glitter. Plus, I think it's just going to add something super fun. Be sure to also just choose the colors that you would like to use. These are the colors that we like to use, and we are in love with pink. So you can switch out colors and the little graphics for whatever you would like. The possibilities are endless. So I have the first two done, and then I'll just do this sweet little bunny as well. Just like this. Okay, so you heard the little chime. It's pretty faint, but it chimed letting me know that it is all ready to go. Okay, and then I just have a little bow. So fast. And then I can trim them apart. So once I turn them over, then you will see that I have them the right side up. So I can double check, make sure I got all of my pieces. They look great. And then I can just trim in between so that we can apply them separately. Okay, so then I will just place them where they go with their little buddy. And then this one will go this way. Make sure they are lining up perfect here. Yep. Okay, let me grab my heat press mat and we will get these applied, and then we will get them all glued together on our little keychains. Okay, so I have my easy press mat here. We'll go ahead and do the little fox first. And then I have also a little piece of parchment paper that I just am going to use to protect my material when I'm applying the heat. So let's go ahead and bring the little mini easy press in right over to the side. And what I'm going to do first is I am just going to preheat that to 5 seconds. And as you can see, that has now turned green. So that lets us know that it's all ready to go. So there's no timer, so you just count to yourself, or you can set a timer if you need to, but about 5 seconds of preheat is good. And then what we'll do is take our iron-on and then just center that where we would like it on our little faux leather. Okay, so it does have a sticky back, so it should stay put when you place it. Okay, and then I'm going to place my little piece right back on top, and then I am going to press, again, still with that low setting, I'm going to press that for 30 seconds with constant movement and light pressure. So I'll just count to 30 and just rotate around, and we use light pressure. 28, 29, 30. Okay, so I am good to go there. What I can do is just set this to the side. This is going to be a cool peel. So I'm just going to place this on my colder desk right off to the side here to let that draw out that heat quicker. And then I will move on to my next one. So these are going to be so cute for their little backpacks. I love it. So I'm going to place my little parchment paper over again and do that 5-second preheat, just like so. Okay, and then I can go ahead and place my iron on, getting that centered exactly where I'd like it. Okay, and then again, I'll just place that parchment paper right back on top and do 30 seconds. Okay, so I'm good to go there. And then again, I will just place this to the side to make sure it's nice and cool. This has already cooled, so I can go ahead and just peel up my liner. And then you'll see that the iron-on has stayed right on that faux leather. And that laid down perfectly. If for some reason yours does not, you can place your liner back on top and give it some additional heat. But look how cute that turned out. I'm not sure if you can quite appreciate the glitter on camera, but in person it's so, so cute. So we'll set this to the side so that we can get it all assembled in just a moment. But let's go ahead and finish our final one. So repeating the same step of preheating for 5 seconds. Can you see how the possibilities would be endless, both in the little image that you choose, or if you want to do text or a monogram, plus the style of faux leather. Faux leather, I am finding as I get more and more addicted to faux leather crafts, it comes in all types of patterns. It's really fun. I also have an entire playlist on faux leather, things that I've done. I've made snap clips for my girls for their hair. I've made bookmarks, which I'm not sure if that tutorial has come out yet. It may have, but if not, it's coming soon. And I've also done, I'm trying to think of all the other things I've done with the faux leather. Quite a few things, other keychains as well, but be sure to check that out if you want to be inspired with how else you can use faux leather with your machine. So I'm just going to line that up. That actually turned out really good. I was really nervous about putting white vinyl on something that already has some white in it, but that turned out so cute. I love it. And it wouldn't be a Bethadilly tutorial if I didn't monogram something. I just have to. Okay, then I'll place this right on top and I will do 30 seconds. Okay, all good to go. And then I will go ahead and set that to the side and let it cool while I peel this off, which is already cooled. I have a little assembly line here. Oh my gosh, that laid down so nice. So cute. Okay, here is our other one. Out of the 3, this was the faux leather that I found had the roughest edge, but I can clean that up with a little bit of scissors and smooth that out. I'm not sure why, because it came from the same pack, but I'm not sure why that one had a little bit more of a rough edge, but it's still going to be super, super cute. Okay, so I'll bring these all in. I'm still waiting for my monogram to cool a bit, but I also have these little keychains. I purchased these off of Amazon and I've used them in quite a few tutorials. I love them. They come in a variety of colors. So we have a silver, a rose gold, we have more of a dark metal, and then we have the traditional gold. So then you can just decide which one you really, really like. Okay, so I really love the rose gold look, so I'm going to use that for all of them. So I'm just going to grab those and we'll be all set. Okay, so this has cooled, so I can go ahead and peel this up. Perfect, it laid down perfect. So then here's how that looks. And I love the glitter. So fun. It's really obvious in person if it's not on camera, but it's so cute. Okay, so now we are going to glue the sides together and actually assemble the keychain. So let's go ahead and start with our little fox. What you're going to do is you are going to fold and just kind of like taco this together. And then you are going to just slip it through this little opening here. So I'm just tacoing that together just like that. And then I'm going to flip this so that my little keychain side is up. See it just like that? Okay, now what we need to do is we need to attach the two sides together. So I'll bring it right back down here, place these to the side. We're gonna open this up, making sure that that little keychain stays in the center there. And then we are going to use hot glue. Now, if you have another method that you like to use for adhesive with faux leather, go for it. Use whatever you like, whatever's your tried and true, totally use your choice for adhesive. I love hot glue with faux leather. I've done so many crafts with faux leather and hot glue, and it has worked so well. So I'm staying with what works for me, but choose what works for you. So I'm going to go ahead and just go around the little perimeter. I'm going to go in little sections because, as you know, hot glue dries so quick. So I'm just going to do this side. And I always say in all my faux leather tutorials that the more glue, the better. So if you feel like you have too much, you don't, because if it's coming out the sides, it's actually awesome because then it will help seal those little edges. So I'm just going to glue that down, matching those sides up, and press, press, press so that you can even see that glue, you know, seep out the sides. And if it does, you can just run your finger over it, being careful you don't burn yourself, but it cools very quickly, but you can just seal those sides really well. So then I'm gonna open that up again, sneak some more glue in there, and just go in sections so that you're not overwhelming yourself with racing against the clock with, you know, making sure you get it all assembled before that glue is all dry and cool. Okay, and then the last little bit. And then one of my favorite things about using this glue gun is that it has a really nice precision tip. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around the perimeter and check to see if there are any little areas that need some additional glue. So I'm just grabbing those little extra strings. Perfect. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Okay, let me double check. So I'm just kind of going around the edge. See how I am finding, I'm not sure if you can see that, there's just a tad opening there. So I'm just going to grab my glue and then I'm going to fit my little nozzle tip right inside and just add some additional glue. Just kind of fill it up. Again, if it seeps out the edge, that's perfect because then you can run your finger over and just seal those edges really nice. Okay, I think the rest did pretty well, but I'll go ahead and just double check, adding more glue wherever I need it. And then I'll show you how it turned out. Okay, so I have it all together and this is how it turned out. How cute is that little guy? Love it. So cute. Okay, so I'm just going to do the exact same thing with my others. So again, I'm just going to fold this like a taco. Just kind of roll it together. And then grab my keychain. Place that in there. Okay. All right, then place that on my mat here. Get that little guy rotated. And start gluing. And again, going in small sections so that I can be patient with myself and not worry about going super quick. Just lining up those edges. So the reason why I did this in the order I did it is because you want to make sure your iron-on is placed onto your faux leather before you do the hot glue, because you don't want to assemble your keychain and then try to place your iron-on with your little mini easy press. You would reheat that glue. Plus, in my opinion, if that glue came out the sides and got on your easy press mini, then that would not be awesome. So make sure you do it in the right order so that you are getting the best results and saving your equipment. Okay, finishing up. And then I'll check the little edges and add any more glue that I need. Okay, just really taking my time and allowing that to be pressed down. Turn that over so you can see the cuteness on the other side. So cute. And then I'll just check my edges and add any more glue that I need. Okay, so I have all of this all assembled, and then like I said, this was the only one that had a little bit more of a frayed edge when it cut. So I'm just going to go through. I love the little Cricut scissors just to clean up any edges that I need to. So I'll just go through and just kind of clean up those edges a bit. And there we go. So here is our second keychain. Love that. These are so cute. So then I'll just do the exact same with this. Roll it like a taco. This one is a little bit thicker, but it still works great. And then turn that over and I'll get this one done. Okay, just finishing up the little finishing edges here. And these turned out so cute. I'm so happy with how these turned out. This has been on my to-do list for such a long time, and it's only fitting that this will be for back to school time. So here is that final little keychain for Mom, and the littles will have their little keychains as well. So super cute, super easy. Also be sure to check out the description box below where I will place that link for all the other faux leather crafts that I have done. I'll just put the playlist there as well as in the top corner here so that you can see that. And at the very end of this video, there will be a little playlist that pops up. Feel free to click on that and keep crafting along with me. And also be sure to give this a thumbs up if you thought these turned out really fun. All right, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.